Welcome to another episode of Ask Better Questions. In today's episode, we'll try to cover why leadership will be a key differentiating factor as AI continues to develop. But before we get into the episode, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Color4 Solutions. And as always, I'm a director at Color4 Solutions, and we provide independent advice on AI implementations for businesses looking to automate any business function. So if you are in the market to automate or implement AI in any of your business processes, be sure to reach out. Links are in the description. So leadership is poised to be a differentiating factor in business as AI improves and begins to replace certain tasks and jobs for several reasons, okay? First and foremost amongst them, strategic decision making. With AI handling routine and repetitive tasks, leaders are required to focus more on strategic decision making, and this is the differentiating factor between businesses. It's not that AI gives you leverage to do things at scale with low cost. It's what things do you do, and what things do you do at low cost, especially if you're in an environment where low cost drivers mean that everyone is competitive. Choosing what it is that you do is incredibly important to give you a competitive advantage. So effective leadership will be crucial in guiding organizations through complex strategic choices, ensuring alignment with long-term goals and navigating uncertainties. You need to set what it is that the organization is aiming to do, and you need to make sure you've got the plans in place to get that done. The fact that the computing age made such a huge difference to businesses and organizations worldwide, and how quickly that happened is self-evident to everyone who's paying attention. These sorts of changes are coming with AI. AI has the ability to do key repetitive tasks and functions, like I said, and do them at scale and do them almost limitlessly and do them well and better every day. So what then does a business do in order to make sure it has that competitive advantage? Do you focus on marketing? Do you focus on product development? What tasks are important, and what is the strategic aim of the organization, and how do we get there? Because not just setting the goal, but also how do we make our way towards that goal is key to making sure that your business, with the same competitive advantages and same access to AI as your competitor, how it arrives at that goal is key, and most of that will be still with human decision making. Speaking of which, point 2, adapting to technological change. Given the rapid pace of technological change, specifically in the AI sector, but not just that sector, leaders will need to be adaptable. They'll need to be tech savvy. They may even need to know some programming to harness the benefits of AI and other emerging technologies. There's not just AI. They must understand the implications of these technologies on their industry. In order to do that, you've got to keep abreast of what's going on in AI. You've got to keep abreast of what's going on in your space. Business processes, workflows. You've got to be aware of streamlined opportunities for these things, and then be able to integrate them seamlessly into your organization. Now that's very, very difficult. It sounds simple, but it's whilst it's simple, it's challenging. There's also point 3, which is empathy and human skills. Empathy and human skills are something that AI is getting better at, absolutely. But it is still a long way to go before it actually takes over humans, or overtakes them, so to speak. As AI does the routine tasks, the demand for human skills such as empathy, emotional intelligence, and interpersonal communications will rise. Creativity, probably less so. Creativity seems to be the domain of AI at the moment. It seems that creativity is something that AI is particularly good at. But when it comes to emotional intelligence and interpersonal communications, as good with the written word as a lot of the large language models are, there's still no substitute for humans and our ability to communicate with each other. So leaders who can foster a positive work culture and build strong relationships and motivate their teams will be crucial for maintaining a productive and engaged workforce, which will maintain productive and engaged workers to perform and produce more output. So point 4 is a little bit controversial: innovation and creativity. Whilst AI can optimize existing processes, it may not inherently possess the creativity and innovation that is required. So leaders who can inspire and lead innovation will be essential for businesses seeking a competitive advantage. There'll be a need to create new products, services, business models, find new markets, these sorts of things that AI can identify, but they can't put into place. Not yet, at any rate. So those sorts of challenges are still the domain of humans, and they're still the domain of leaders. And being as such, that's point 4. So as much as AI is particularly brilliant with, say, DALL-E and Midjourney and the like, creating fantastic pieces of art and great creativity, and other video programs, etc., there's still going to be a lot of demand for creativity in terms of business organizations for creating products, services, and finding new markets and creating new business models. There's also going to be a requirement for humans in point 5 here for ethical decision making. So ethical decisions, particularly with AI giving rise to a lot of ethical considerations, such as bias in algorithms and the impact on employment, leaders will play a vital role in making ethical decisions and ensuring fairness and transparency, which I do go on quite a bit about. Fairness, transparency, and ethical decisions in relation to the algorithms. The responsible use of AI is key. And as much as, like I said, I go on about it, it's something that should be at the forefront of everyone's mind, particularly leaders. So ethical leadership becomes increasingly important in a world where AI is deeply integrated into various aspects of business. There's point 6, employee development and upskilling. In a world with AI, effective leaders will prioritize the development and upskill of their workforces. As jobs and roles evolve due to automation, leaders will be responsible for reskilling employees and ensuring they remain relevant and valuable contributors to the organization. Gone are the days where we just hired somebody to do a particular function, and after 40 years, they left the organization and trained the next person up to do that particular function. There may be a number of roles in future careers where you may sign on to an organization and within 6 months you're in a different role. In fact, within 6 months you may have done 2 different roles in an organization. There will be a constant battle of reskilling employees as AI takes over more and more of the repetitive, drudge and boring work. But it may also take over some of the other functions as well. So realistically, as an employee, the responsibility is to keep yourself current and to be flexible and have more than one particular skill set that you can employ. The responsibility of leaders is to identify these people and identify opportunities to upskill your existing workforce, which is incredibly key to maintaining agility in an organization. So number 7 is crisis management and resilience. As good as AI is, and it is very, very good and getting better every day, in times of economic and industry disruption, which typically describes how AI will impact most industries, leaders need to guide their organizations through crises. The ability to make tough decisions, maintain morale, and lead with resilience will be crucial for the survival and recovery of businesses and organizations at all levels. there needs to be a focus for organizations in terms of creating resilience, creating emergency planning, and seeing the writing on the wall for some functions in businesses and what that will mean going forward. So from that point of view, some crisis management and resilience can be built into organizations, but things will still go wrong that are not foreseen. And these are things that humans need to manage, because organizations are predominantly made up of humans, not AI. And even if it was majority AI, the competitive advantage you have is the human element. So customer relations and experience, that's point 8. So we're up to 8, can you believe it? While AI can enhance customer interactions, leaders will be instrumental in defining and delivering a customer-centric strategy. So understanding customer needs, building relationships, and ensuring positive customer experiences, and the focus on that will be essential differentiators between organizations. So not just that customers form a key part of what it is that an organization exists to do, but also how that's done and what focus, specifically how the focus is and how it's serviced, will be key differentiating factors between organizations. You can see this in existence at the moment. There are, for argument's sake, identical utilities around the globe, and each of them operates differently. Each of them may have different sales teams and different sales strategies. They may have different customer-centric approaches, but they are customer-centric. They will appeal to different demographics and these sorts of things. So those, I guess, business aims and goals will be set at a strategic level by leaders. Point 9. Collaboration and team dynamics. So leaders will play a central role in fostering collaboration and effective team dynamics. They have to ensure that the teams are cohesive, adaptable, and can work seamlessly with AI systems to maximize productivity and innovation. There's a lot to be said for making sure that your team are collaborative and have the ability to function with computing in this day and age, with this rapid pace of development. It was said to me, I think in the 90s, when I was working at one of the Big Six accounting firms, it was Big Six at the time, that the computer revolution had put a computer on everyone's desk, which was fantastic for the computing industry. But it was effectively giving each person a bicycle and no lessons on how to ride. So some people took it up and were riding perfectly, and other people kept falling over. And I saw that. Like, there were people that I worked with who didn't know that you could turn a computer off, that you just left it on overnight and turned off your monitor. So in this day and age, there's a lot of challenges beyond just using a computer. But even now, we still have some stalwarts who just don't want to use computers as effectively as they could do, or they just haven't been shown how to do it, or they have a limited interest in it, or they've just decided that they don't have that skill set. In the future, it's going to be, using the leverage of AI, it's going to be something that is a compelling reason to learn these things, and it's going to be a necessity in a lot of roles to use AI as leverage to get your functions and roles done. It's incredibly important, and the leaders are key in making sure that the teams work together and the individual employees actually use the tools that are provided in terms of AI and other capital goods in order to affect their roles as effectively and efficiently as possible. So the last point, number 10, strategic talent acquisition and retention. So beyond just having the people that are existing in an organization use the tools effectively, there needs to be strategic talent acquisition and retention. So in a world where certain jobs are automated, leaders will need to strategically acquire and retain talent that complements AI capabilities. Now, this involves identifying skill gaps and attracting top-tier talent. So HR departments, I hope you're listening. You need to also create a work environment that encourages employee loyalty and satisfaction. Now, I know a lot of organizations, in fact, almost every organization would say that that is what they aim to do. But the actual, when the rubber meets the road, or it's a very different outcome. And a lot of employees will tell you that orientation week was fantastic, but after that it was sort of, there's your desk, there's your computer, have at, and the support stops. So there's a lot to be said that the organizations as a whole need to encourage employee loyalty and satisfaction and work towards how that happens. So in essence, and in conclusion, I guess, as AI takes over routine and repetitive tasks, leadership becomes more crucial for navigating the complexities of a changing business landscape. So leveraging technology effectively and ensuring that the human-centric aspects of businesses are prioritized. Effective leadership will be the linchpin for success in the era of advancing AI. So, having already gone over time, I think that should wrap the episode here. So, if you're interested in what AI can do for your business, please reach out via the links in the description. If you like the podcast, leave a rating and review and share the show, because that's how we grow. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and I'll see you next week to ask better questions.